Welcome, friends, to High Fiber Sports. Easy to digest because we're all full of shit. Being that we're new to this podcast, and all of you are obviously new to this podcast, we deserve an introduction. I'm Brad McDonald. Next to me is Matt Cobald.
Brad, I think we got to start in the NFL because they held the draft last week in the 3-day event. Everybody watches it. Dreams come true. People are crying. We love to see it. But the biggest storyline, I believe, for me was the slide of Shedeur Sanders. Now, I live out here in the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado, so Boulder, about a 40-minute drive. So I heard a lot of talk. I heard a lot of talk last year. For him to go in the 5th round, 144th overall, what's your thoughts on that?
You know, Matt, that was wild. Obviously, I'm no, draft scout, anything like that. I only see Big 12 fan, obviously, watching all the games and everything, and just seeing statistics, what he did, how much he got sacked, no run game,
so much
heavy offense, and I mean, there's only so many things that could explain this, because to go in the 5th round, sure, 2nd, 3rd, arm talent's not there. But, I mean, how many guys have they shown over the years? He's got experience. Yep. He's resurrected multiple collegiate programs.
Accurate.
Everything's there. There is something we did not see that happened in the meetings. There has got to be. I mean, draft analysts, even the most pessimistic ones, I would say 3rd round.
Yeah. I saw him as high as number 9 to the Saints. Mel Kiper Jr., the guru, the ESPN draft guru, had him as his number 1 overall quarterback prospect, even over my guy Cam Ward. So that's crazy. But 144th overall, Brad, that's nuts, especially after drafting Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. I'm not sure what the Browns are expecting to do, but whatever. I don't mind the risk. I don't mind the risk of Shedeur with the accuracy and he's got a lot of experience.
Well, and what do you think about that philosophy, too, while we're on the subject? A team that is so quarterback desperate to currently have 5 quarterbacks on the roster. Is smart, dumb, smartest thing ever, dumbest thing ever?
I'm somewhere in the middle there because we're not going to see Deshaun Watson this year with that Achilles. We're not going to see him.
4 quarterbacks, really.
Joe Flacco, how old is he? Is he 40 yet? He's got
84.
Yeah. So we can't really trust Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. We know he's a bum. We already know he's a bum. So why not draft two rookies? Why not draft 2 guys that had a little bit of collegiate success?
Yeah,
I'm okay with it, Brad.
I'm with you, Matt. I think it's I think it's the exact right approach in this sense. You've failed so many times. Why not take a couple swings at the same time? One of them works out, a lot of quarterbacks they've seen nowadays. You get a lot of collegiate experience. Try them in the NFL. They're at least decent when they get in. Instead of going with that flash in the pan Anthony Richardson the Colts are with right now.
Ooh, don't say that name too loud. Don't say that name too loud.
Yeah. Your home area doesn't like that too much.
Yeah. Before we move on from Shedeur, one last thing here, Brad. We got a quote from Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, back in March of 2018. Quote from Coach Prime, "I love what the Browns have done this offseason." This is in 2018. "But if I'm a young quarterback, ain't no way I'm going to Cleveland," he wrote on X. "I would pull an Eli Manning if possible." Now his son has just been drafted by these Browns. Coach Prime going to get involved here, Brad? Coach Prime going to work some magic, and is Shedeur going to play for the Browns?
First of all, I think it's to the point where, this, I don't know what caused the slide, but I'm guessing some of this type of attitude and things like that might have had something to do with it. So I think at this point in time, going in the 5th round when you're probably 2nd, 3rd round talent is enough of a slap in the face that now you prove it, and then imagine the fucking dick swinging swagger you got at that point.
Oh, yeah. That has to humble you.
All right, for one more thing, before we get off the subject, why do you think he dropped that far?
The accuracy is there. Arm talent, like you said, he's not driving it down the field. I think it's I heard from multiple reports that he was sandbagging interviews. He didn't want to go to certain places, which, that happens, I guess. But yeah, too much glitz and glamour, too much flash, too much pizzazz, too much daddy, too much everything. Like, people don't want that in their locker room. Like, he's a rookie quarterback and jerseys are gonna sell and he's gonna be one of the most popular guys. Like, nah.
Yeah, I think that's got to be a lot to do with it, but I also have my alternate theory with absolutely no facts whatsoever. I think it's because he has Peyronie's disease, and it'll be difficult to speak about his bent demeanor in the locker room. Again, no facts to back this up, but, we all got our theories.
Can you explain what this disease is for the people that don't know, Bradley?
It's bent penis. Yeah, your penis is bent, and it hurts when you get hard, I think. I don't know. I just see commercials about it, and that was actually my first time I was made aware, and I used to be a nurse. I didn't even know about bent penis disease then.
So we're thinking here at High Fiber Sports that Shedeur Sanders might have slid because of a bent penis.
Yeah. I think you can book it. Well, yeah, I can only imagine the Sanders fucking lawsuit coming my way after this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
No sources here.
I got ruined before I made it.
But before we get off of Shedeur, we got one last thing. I know we said that 3 times now, but what your thoughts on the prank call? The prank call from the...
Oh, shit. Yeah, the Falcons D coordinator. Oh, what's his name? Old NFL player. Ulbricht's son. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on slipping in Shedeur there and pranking him?
Well, I counter your question with another question. What's the punishment for a $100,000 fine your son caused?
Oh, that's you got to get the belt out. You got to get the belt out.
My parents never struck me, but $100,000, that's strikeable. I think that's strikeable.
You got to get the belt wet.
Especially as an adult, then it's okay. I really think after 18, you punch him right in the fucking face.
You got to get the belt out, get it wet, and go out in the backyard.
Yeah.
Or the basement.
Yeah, he's 21. I mean, the balls on that kid. To be fair, though, he didn't play football, obviously. No. So this is the most famous thing he's ever going to do. Congrats, Jeff Ulbricht's son.
Yeah.
On your one shining moment.
Immature, but one shining moment. You're right.
Now come out to the backyard and let your dad beat your ass.
One more NFL draft topic we got to get into tonight. Shedeur made a lot of noise with his slide, but another big newsworthy note in the draft this year, Brad, was the trade up to number 2 that the Jacksonville Jaguars made to select Colorado Buffalo Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Now, in this deal, the Browns, they received number 5, so they moved back from number 2 to number 5, got Mason Graham, the defensive tackle, probably the best D tackle in the draft.
Yeah.
They get number 36 from the Jags. They use that for Quinshawn Judkins from Ohio State. Big body back, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
They got number 126 this year, and they get the Jags' first-round pick next year. Jags, they received number 2 this year, which they got Travis Hunter, number 104, and number 200. Now, the 2025 Heisman winner was the first player to be announced at the draft at 2 different positions, Brad. Nobody's been announced at 2 different positions at the draft. He's the first wide receiver drafted top 2 since, can you give it to me, Brad? First wide receiver drafted top 2 since 2007. Big dog.
I'm guessing it was one of the Detroit wide receivers.
Megatron. Calvin Johnson.
Yep. All right. I just knew it because they drafted a number 1 wide receiver every year for I think it was 1,400 years-ish.
That one worked out.
Yeah, that one did seem to be pretty good.
It's also the first time a top 2 pick has been traded on draft day since 2017. Mitch Queef-Bisky, when the Bears blew up their franchise to go get this fucking Queef.
Oh, thanks for that one. As an Onions fan. That one. Yeah, we got a lot of picks out of that. Yeah.
We got to talk about that one for sure.
Yeah.
Brad, what do you think about Browns moving back to number 5, Jags jumping up to number 2, getting this dimensional player? Who won this trade?
This one's actually hard because I want to say Jacksonville.
You do.
Because I do believe Travis Hunter is the best college football player I've ever seen.
That's big words right there, Brad.
Yeah, but there's no way to know if he really how much he can play on both sides of the ball.
We don't know.
And so, like, I would have to imagine the conversation Hunter was having with teams at the beginning was, are you going to play me on offense because wide receivers make more money? That's the conversation I'd be having. And
Have
like,
to.
oh, you want me to be a lockdown corner for half the money? How about unless you make me a $30 million corner, $35 million corner,
Yep.
we're not having a conversation here. I can be
Yep.
the best wide receiver. Just because I'm great as shit at being a quarterback doesn't mean I have to.
No.
Like, I can also be a top tier wide receiver, so watch me.
Yeah.
And so I think the Jags were the team that were willing to take the risk of actually playing him on both sides of the ball in order to make that kind of a trade, in my opinion. So I honestly, I won't judge this until I see if he can play
You got to see.
a little bit on both
Yeah.
sides of the ball. He doesn't have to be. I mean, I I don't know the complexities of the NFL offense versus defense right now, but I would have a feeling it'd be easier to run them in a package on offense where you literally just say, just do this, rather than a reaction corner position, whatever, and changing defenses. And I don't know. I don't know what'd be easier to do, but I'm telling you, Jacksonville intends on using them for both for that kind of haul.
Yeah, you have to. When you move up and spend this amount of capital, you got to use them both sides of the ball. The word out of Jacksonville is they're going to start him full time on offense, start to sprinkle him in on defense. I think it's a great fit for Hunter. I'd rather him in Jacksonville than Cleveland. My goodness, in Jacksonville he can fit in. He doesn't have to be the guy. Brian Thomas Jr. is the big dog there. You got Trevor Lawrence, who's kind of a queef, but he's better than what Cleveland's got. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
Where Travis Hunter would probably have to be the guy in Cleveland. The Browns. They're not one player away, but this one player could have jump started that rebuild. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
They traded back, but they stayed in the top 5. They grabbed a potential top 10 pick for next year if Jacksonville sucks again to pair with their own top pick because they're going to suck again.
Yeah.
And they grabbed Judkins in the second round this year off of this trade. I don't mind it either way, Brad. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I'm kind of split.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see if Travis Hunter works out, then Jacksonville
It's either a bust or Jacksonville just fucking scored.
Yeah.
Because he's got to play both for it to make sense for this much, or be so elite at one or the other. Probably wide receiver. With I don't know if like because they've already got a number 1 wide receiver right now, so.
Yeah, that's tough to say. I'm excited for him in Jacksonville for sure. And way happier that he didn't have to go to shit-sniffing Cleveland.
Yeah, although I've lived in Jacksonville and no thanks.
Brad, let's get into a little bit of NBA playoff discussion because we had a big game last night. We had a big game back in the city that I went to college in, Indianapolis, Indiana. My Pacers, got a jersey back here, Reggie up top. My Pacers had a gentleman sweep over the Milwaukee Bucks last night. 4-1, swept them out of here.
Where you're from.
Tyrese Halliburton from your Cyclones,
Right.
my Pacers.
Right.
He's the star of the show. He drives right around Giannis' little scoop. The Pacers down by 7 with 40 seconds to go. I was checking my parlays. I was like, this baby's over, looking to see when Game 6 was gonna be. That's what I was doing last night. In the NBA playoffs, teams in the last 20 years who were trailing by 7 or more with 40 seconds remaining were 0 and 1,176.
Dang.
0 and 1,176. Pacers pulled off a true miracle last night, but it might have been a little bit overshadowed, just a little bit overshadowed with Tyrese Halliburton's father. First off, Brad, how and why is a fan on the floor after the game? Can you tell me what happened here?
I'm going to start with outrage for another reason before I get into outrage over that. It's the fact that I live right now in Council Bluffs, Iowa, and the Milwaukee, Indiana game was blacked out on my television.
Yeah, I can't give you any explanation there, Brad. That makes no sense to me.
What?
Makes no sense.
I couldn't watch the damn thing. I only had to watch highlights later.
Bullshit.
But yes, getting past that, hell of a comeback. Awesome. That was great. And then at the end with Halliburton's dad, I mean, this one's kind of easy. I'm on the side of Halliburton. He even says dad.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be.
His dad. That's his dad's fault.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
How is a fan on the floor, Brad? As soon as the
Yeah.
buzzer sounds, the players are still on the floor. What was a fan doing on the floor?
well, and the interaction was so weird. They're like 10, 15 feet away from each other, and Giannis is just like like a blank stare in his face. And Halliburton's dad just talking shit hard in his face. And then when they Giannis is a nice guy. He seems like whatever. And even afterwards,
sure.
I thought he, presented himself pretty well. But like getting on there, I'm like, huge Halliburton fan, whatever, but I don't care about his dad. I'm not a Halliburton's dad fan. You know, like Giannis is taking bigger shits than Halliburton's dad. Okay, he could eat him. It would be like a Mortal Kombat finish where fatality. No,
What?
like, what are you doing? Why? And why would you do this? Not just that. It has nothing to do with like size, whatever. Like, why are you talking? You won. You won.
Series
You
is
won.
over. Series is over.
And you didn't have anything to do with it.
Nothing.
You
your
fucked
seed.
someone like
Just your seed.
whatever years ago, and then that's your only part in this.
Yeah,
Stop.
When
Yeah.
Giannis and Halliburton's dad were forehead to forehead, my goodness, the way Giannis was veining out and just towering over this man, like, no,
Yeah, dude.
I'm just confused as to why parents and fans are on the floor. As soon as the buzzer sounds, we got the players still on the floor. That can't happen.
Yeah.
That's not cool with me. But hell of a W for my Pacers. They move on to play Cleveland, the 1 seed. Now, Cleveland's had a hell of a year. A few All-Stars on that team. Brad, if you want to make a quick prediction, Pacers, Cavs, what are you thinking? How many games?
As a Heat fan, I saw what the Cavs did to us, and they touched our no place, and they didn't ask first. It was bad.
Didn't get permission.
No, it was. I mean, the Heat had no business being in the playoffs. I was happy that we made it, and it is what it is. There, I think the Cavaliers are the most disrespected team in the NBA.
Could be.
Number 1 seed in the East, and no one's picking them to win it all. No, don't get me wrong; they're not my team to win it all.
Sure.
But no one's even like including them in their top 4. I was like, what? They went on 2 20-game win streaks this year, or something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah. What the hell are you talking about? Like, so I don't know. With this series, Hart, Indiana, I love Hallie and everything, but no, I think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep.
Oh, whoa, little disrespectful, Brad.
Oh,
Gentleman sweep?
Disrespectful to
Only one game?
Did the second best or best record in the NBA this year?
I think second best.
Behind Oklahoma City.
You know how I'm feeling over here. You know I'm a homer. You know I'm a little biased.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm feeling playoff experience. These young Cavs guys, they made it to the second round last year. Yeah, but my Pacers, these guys made it to the East Finals last year. They're feeling themselves, and I can't go against my Pacers. I'll pick them in 7. Hell of a series. It's gonna take a lot, but Halliburton. Who's the best player on the floor, Brad? Donovan Mitchell or Halliburton or Siakam? Who's the best player in the series? Because you ain't throwing Darius Garland or Mobley in there. Mobley won Defensive Player of the Year, though, so let's respect that.
It's Halliburton. It's Halliburton all day. I wanted to think about it for a second to make sure I didn't make a homer pick.
You got to think about it.
But yeah, no, it really is. And I love that he did that after he got voted the most overrated player in the NBA by his
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shut the haters up.
Yep,
Shut the haters up.
Do it, Hallie. Hell man.
Pacers have a coach that has won a championship, been there, done that, and Rick Carlisle.
Yeah.
Let's just not sleep on the Pacers. Gentlemen, sweet Brad, that's a little disrespectful tonight, especially on a Wednesday.
You know what? I want to be wrong. This is one of those things where I'm not picking with my heart. Like, the way the Cavaliers are playing, have played pretty much all season, is the reason why I'm saying that. Not because I'm disrespecting Indiana.
Hell of a season.
Yeah. So, that's what I'm saying. Maybe 6 games, but I would say 6 tops still.
Let's go 6. Let's go 6 at least. Come on. You got the
Yeah.
best player in the series. You got to win 2 games. You got to win 2
Yeah.
games. You got the best player in the series.
Yeah, but not if you're facing the best team in the series.
Could be. Could be. We'll see.